see here. Better get this because I bet Jeff is zooming in. Anyway, we will, yeah, I'll follow up and let you know. Okay. Know what to find out later.
See if, okay, Carrie Dodd, can you hear us? She's online.
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. Okay. I don't know if Jeff will be here. We don't really have anything that's, you know, contingent or anything like that. We've got a couple things just to make some votes on. But let me share my screen here.
No, it's not.
Carrie, you staying cool out there?
Yeah, I'm good. We had I don't know, the electricity went out yesterday and then today for about an hour each time, but not so long that it really got hot in the house.
Well, that's good. I heard that a tree fell today.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yes, they had about 900 without power for a little bit till they could get that repaired.
Oh, what
They were
happened?
flying. I don't know, I guess some tree fell. I don't know if it was up there by the apartments, exactly where, but Shamrock, the apartments are the first to lose power, and then
Yeah,
they
and then-
were just flooded with
Because
calls
Mike went to
today.
the vet to pick up some medicine for the dog, and they were out there.
I was outside when there where I lived, and I could hear the transformers making all that noise, and it went off, and then it went on, then it went off.
Yeah. When when he couldn't go to the vet, he went and got gas, and midway through pumping gas.
It went.
It went out.
It went out. Oh my goodness.
So it's like,
Oh.
I just gave up.
They did lose power earlier in the week just because of the heat. They
Was
said it was so excessive and one of the transformers blew up. But I didn't even know that was, to have that
Just
strong
too-
of a pull
Yeah,
on,
just too much,
strain on the
too much
system.
strain.
That might have been the one that over there by my house thing, because I could hear those transformers just,
Ooh.
Yeah, they said that there was one, they walked up, they hear it boiling.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is right across the street.
Yeah,
It's gonna
but
get
you gotta
hot again
fix it,
next
get
week.
it out, to fix it, but then you can't touch it. You gotta be careful on how you.
They were
handle
quick
it.
though,
Yeah, they're awesome team.
they are.
Well, we'll go ahead and get started. Carrie, I kind of talked loud, I'm kind of sitting here navigating the system and, but I think the speaker works pretty well. Okay, to say really first on the agenda, Carol, would you mind calling to order? and
Yes, I will call the meeting
Run the meeting? Okay.
to order for the June 16th Urban Forestry Committee, and we will start by taking a roll call, and I'll start at my left. Julia's here,
Jeanette Isbell.
Carol Hannah, and Carrie, you want to chime in?
Yep, Carrie Dodd.
Okay, so we've got 4 people.
Yay.
Exciting.
So excited.
Yeah.
So I guess we need to elect officers for this year, since this is the first meeting we've had since October.
Official.
Yeah, the first official meeting. So we have, what are the,
So Taylor Metz was the president from last year.
so we have a president, a vice president, and a
And a secretary. That's
Okay.
correct. Yes. And you were vice president, well, still remaining as vice president, and then Julia Avey was secretary. So you can make nominations to switch, retain any, how you like.
I've got a question before I make my nomination. Is Taylor, is he still involved, or should we assume that he's?
Yeah, he did resign. He
Okay.
said that he's just very busy.
Sure.
He's got his career there as a professor at the university. He's also has a side landscaping business, and then they're going to be remodeling Acton Academy. So this year, he said it's going to be very busy. He said to always feel welcome to reach out to him for any type of input or advisory or kind of guidance on questions that we have and anything that he can help out with, he would be more than happy to do so. But he did ask to be taken off. Linda Castor had also was in the same type of position. And so we went ahead and withheld the appointment of 2 new members because we knew that we were wanting to go ahead and reduce to that 5-member group. So yes, so he is no longer.
Well, Carol did such a wonderful job last year that I would like to nominate her for president.
Okay. So we have
We have
Motion
a
and a
motion
second.
and a second.
Second.
Any other nominations? Okay, I will take a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
and I think since we're virtual, we'll need to do a roll call.
A roll
on the
call,
match for
okay.
elected officers.
Yeah, so do you want to,
So Carrie Dodd,
Yes, I say aye.
okay. Julia Avey,
yay?
Jeanette Isbell,
Yay.
and you agree,
I
Carol
agree,
Hannah?
yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you. I will try to not let you down.
No,
You
you
won't.
would do phenomenal. Okay, what about vice president?
Can I make another nomination? Sure, just go for it. Okay. Nominate you.
Okay.
There you go.
I will second that.
Okay.
Thank you. And any other nominations for vice president? We'll take a roll call.
Carrie Dodd,
Yes, I say aye.
right, and Jeanette Isbell,
Yes.
Carol Hannah,
Yes.
and Julia Avey.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Secretary?
Sounds like you need some
Secretary?
job.
Okay, I'd like to nominate Jeanette Isabel for secretary.
I will second that. Any other nominations? Okay, we'll take a roll.
Carrie
call.
Dodd,
Okay, I say aye.
and, let's go with Carol Hannah,
Yes.
and Julia Avey,
Yay.
and Jeanette Isbell.
Yay.
All right.
All
That was
right.
easy.
Okay, go
That was
team.
easy.
Yeah.
All right,
Yay.
we're going to make some progress
Yes.
now, I think.
Yes.
So one thing we do have to do is approve the minutes from October. If anybody can remember that far back, I probably have read these, every month for, I don't know how many months, thinking that we were going to do it. But if you want to go back and just take a quick glance at that, I think from what I can remember, it
was in October.
was in October, yeah,
Last official meeting.
yeah.
They're on your Google Drive as well.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Uh-huh, yep, they're in the presentation too, but,
And I guess we were all the ones that were here, so. So I will let somebody make a motion to approve those when you're ready.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you, Carrie. Have a second?
I second.
All right, we'll take roll call.
Carrie Dodd,
Yes.
Julia Avey,
Yay.
Jeanette Isbell,
Yes.
and Carol Hannah.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Okay, we're ready to move to our old business. A few things that have come up over the course of the last few months that we can get an update on. So
Yeah.
is that
Yeah, the first, wanted to follow up on the Facebook page. Carol Hannah had brought up last month about the idea of having a Pendleton Urban Forestry Committee Facebook page, just to be able to give some awareness to the program, highlight some educational tips, pictures from that recovery tree project, give some updates how those trees are growing, any fun stories that we can have with residents and how their trees grown. And we thought it was a wonderful idea. And so we were kind of considering two options, whether or not we do a free Facebook page on our own, but we wanted to also give Solution for eBiz a chance to be able to give us a quote on that. And so I had reached out to them before our last meeting, and they're kind of rebuilding right now. They just replaced Christy Hughes. Dennis Good is going to be our social media rep. And so he is kind of getting acclimated right now and is going to work with Mike Sheward there. He's the lead there. And they're going to come up with a quote for us. They said it would be very minimal. We had indicated probably only about one post a week, maybe two at the most. So it won't be very time consuming for them. A lot of the stuff we might be able to, they can just reproduce from resources that we can, feed them. But it will get paid as long as we get the green light from administration and get paid out of the general fund along with the rest of the contract that we have with them. That contract pays for the park pages, the pool, and the golf course and the town. So we don't expect it to be a sizable amount, but hopefully it'll work and we can get that approved. We don't have to go through town council or anything.
Okay, I was gonna
But
ask if
yeah.
they,
Yeah, we just, through the town manager,
Yeah.
Scott, he can give us a go on
Go on
that.
that.
And so I'm hoping we'll get that quote here. He expected by the end of June. So
Okay.
by July, I'll be able to have a response. And if I get something sooner, I'll definitely send an email out and give you an update if that's gonna be a go. And
I have no idea. What is the standard fee for something like that?
right now, the town pays about $800 a month. That covers the town's portion. So they do coverage for us for our town meetings, any type of events that are being held by nonprofits. They'll usually go out and highlight those. Any information we send them, they do and are doing a phenomenal job doing fill-in posts that, I'll look back and I may miss a few days and look back and, they've done something very creative. They really do a good job of tapping into the community and seeing what's going on there. They have an intern that's doing most of the work for them right now, but then Dennis will remain on full time after that. And then the park, I think theirs is maybe maybe ours was 700, theirs is 800 a month, but they have a few other pages.
Well, and it seems to me that the town and the park will have a lot more stuff than what we're talking about for us. I mean, I would think,
Oh, yeah.
I would think they're, yeah.
Yeah.
And even if we have to limit, if they say it can't be any more than once a week, I think that would be plenty.
Yes.
I
It's
do
once-
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had considered a by hour, but they said it's so much more feasible just doing just a
part
part
of it, yeah.
rate, and then they would give us a minimum. So right now, the town is a minimum of 3 posts a week. Now, if we got to where we were sending something a post every day, I think they would go back and kind of reconsider for the next year contract. But
Yeah.
we've been giving them probably 2 to 3, and they've added in a few more
just to-
on their own. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Well, then that way we know it's kind of cohesive with the town too. If we tried to do something outside of, we want it to look like it's part of the town's.
Yes, yes. And from my understanding, Julia, you may know this, or Carrie, you probably know this more than I do. Doesn't a Facebook page have to be, attached to an individual or some type of
I
birth
thought
date
so.
or something to where then someone has to be an
Right.
administrator? So if we
Yeah.
assign it to an
You
individual.
need an
Yeah.
admin for a page.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And that way I was thinking that probably would be better for them
Them
to
to
do
be-
that.
Yeah.
And they also do a great job of watching those comments. We
Mhm.
don't delete any comments or anything, but if there's something something needs to be addressed, if it's not just a, comment one way or the other, inquiry, they'll shoot out,
They have to
letting us
approve
know.
it before they, reason I ask is today I just noticed that I put on a post on the town's page saying, good job, utility got, electric guys and
Oh, okay,
everything.
yes, yeah.
And then there was this little notice that came up that said this will be, read and reviewed and approved
Okay,
and approved
okay,
before it will
okay.
actually
Didn't know
show
that
up.
notification came
Yeah,
up.
well,
Yeah.
that's the first time I've
Yeah,
noticed it.
that might be
Yeah.
a new thing that
Yeah.
they're doing.
Well, that's probably.
That
okay.
makes sense.
Given,
Yeah.
yeah, given the
Yeah.
way things are right now.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So they did get the electric guys post out today?
I don't know. I put it in right after this morning after they got my electricity.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Because the internet was messed up too, because the
Yeah.
electric was off.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do it right away, but,
Yeah.
so I haven't gone back to see if they actually posted it, but
Posted it,
I
okay.
bet, I'm sure they
Yeah.
did. It gave them
good.
the rest of the day to do it. so.
Yeah. Let's say they've been working hard. They've had a lot of late nights and the spring and the rain, the winds, the trees coming down. It's been busy. Good. I know they appreciate that. Yeah, so hopefully we'll have some information on that come July, and we'll be able to get that rolling and start putting some information out there and getting some awareness for the committee. I think it'd be great. So,
Maybe you figure on just like 1 a week type thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. And I'm
Because
wondering too.
I bet if you took a poll, there would be hardly anybody that in the town that even knew that there was an urban forestry committee.
Yeah.
I know lots
yeah.
of times I'll say, PUF, blah, 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 urban forestry, and they just kind of look at me like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
And I think that there might be a way that either they can put some type of tag or some type of connection on the town's website, or invite the followers of the town website, or not website, but I mean
The
Facebook
Facebook
page.
page, yeah.
And that way it'll kind of promote some followers
Right.
away.
Yeah.
So kind of build that. So, yeah, I'm excited about it. I think it was an awesome idea. So thank you, Carol, for that.
Thank you.
So,
Following up.
yeah. Arbor Day, I spoke with Eric Schill right before the end of the school closed out, and he is excited. He definitely wants to have another tree planted in honor of Arbor Day. I asked him if there was a possibility that we could do it sooner than we did last year.
Mhm.
Because still, you remember, and Carol, we got there, it was
It was
really
so- it was
cold.
snowing,
So-
wasn't it?
yeah,
It was awful.
Little kids are out in their winter coats and.
Or not.
Yeah. And then too, I was just trying to capture what required that educational piece that we had to qualify for a Tree City USA. So I was like rambling on, trying to rattle through that as quickly as I can.
And
before
everyone
their
say,
fingers
"Just
were
shut up,
purple."
Denise."
I know, I'm sorry. Rick was saying the same thing, I'm sure. So I think I'm going to discuss with him what options he feels will work with him as far as having something given to them beforehand.
Mhm.
So we can kind of attack that, in the classroom. I don't want to, whether it could be something digitally that they can
Yeah.
see on their Chromebooks or something,
Yeah.
instead of they don't want extra pieces of paper going home and turning into airplanes or
Yeah.
whatnot, So if
Right.
we can have that
I
done
wonder if
ahead
we
of
could
time.
even like meet in their, is that one class?
Yeah.
Fourth
It's
grade.
4th grade. I think there's maybe 4 or 5 classes,
Mm,
maybe in 4th grade.
You know, if we could meet somewhere
3 or 4.
inside and to do all that, because
Yeah.
even if it's a nice day when you're outside, I mean, that was a big group of people and it was
Very
hard.
distracting.
You were trying to,
Yes,
kind
it
of
was
turn
all
around, but it's
around,
hard to
yes.
hear.
Maybe in
Because-
the gym area or
Yeah,
something.
And then we could walk out and actually do the
Mhm.
planting or
Mhm.
something that would.
Yeah, and little kids aren't gonna be, if they're outside, they're not gonna be paying attention to
Yeah.
Yeah, I
adults talking. They're gonna be looking around, and
That's
doing their own
true.
thing. So yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah. Yeah, they really, I think that, excited
They were-
about it,
yeah,
but
they
it
were-
it was,
They were better than I expected. Some of them actually had good questions.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe we could give him some kind of little handout. I know one year we gave him those pencils. My
Yeah,
roots are in
yeah,
Pendleton
Pendleton.
pencils.
Yeah.
So maybe we could give him some kind of little handout of some kind. you
Yeah.
know.
We gave them pencils last time, didn't we?
Yeah, I think
I
we
think
gave
we
them to
did.
the
We had
teachers,
some
and
left.
then,
Yeah, like
you
my heart-
passed it on to them and they
Yeah.
passed it out
Said
that
something
day.
like I heart tree club.
Yeah,
Tree
Yeah.
club.
yes,
So
yeah.
I think so like I heard Pendleton.
Yeah,
Had like a
yeah.
tree on it maybe. and then-
Yeah, my roots
My
are in
roots are in
Pendleton.
Pendleton, I think,
That
yeah.
was,
Yeah.
that's been a few years ago.
Yeah.
but-
Aren't there, I thought I saw there's some pencils that if you plant them, like they turn into a plant.
Oh,
Yeah,
Who would that be?
I know. I know I've heard of that. I'm certain I've heard of that. I'm gonna I'll jump on Amazon since I'm on my computer and
They even
see.
have like little, maybe, I've seen cards that have seeds in
Oh,
them.
yeah, card would be great too.
You would say Pendleton or something on the front
Oh,
and then
yeah.
they could plant. That would be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, Carrie, if you find out something like that and I can look up too, yeah, share it with us. That'd be great. That, I've never heard of that. Huh. Yeah, that is really cool.
You can find anything on Amazon.
Yes.
Yeah, and if it is something that we can give to them early enough, then they could plant that and, take
Yeah.
off and, have a good month and a half before it
Yeah,
gets
before it
freezing
gets-
weather and
Mhm.
hardened ground and, yeah.
That's a
well, that
great
would be
idea.
fun. I'm gonna look into that. That's pretty cool. Thank you, Carrie. I'll just touch base with him. I told him probably give him 2-3 weeks into the school, kind of get settled, and then we'll have about, 4 weeks to, them to get ready, and we'll just plan a time.
Yeah.
And we'll probably do something, might be like early morning or something on a Friday, and then hopefully we can knock that out early, no later than early October, but if we could do it by mid-September, that'd be great.
That would be nice.
Yeah, have a nice morning to do that, so. Okay, and then one thing we do need to remember is for that, we need to have Chet Babb sign a proclamation. So it was a form that when we had submitted the 2021 Tree City USA, and I know Rachel knew about it, but we didn't know about that piece of it, that didn't know it is a mandatory. They asked if there was a proclamation and we just marked no. And so it is a piece that is mandatory. So, but they said it can be retro signed after the application, and we were fine, and he came in and signed it. But we've got it, and we'll just have him sign a new one with the date of the planting of that tree.
Okay.
And that will cover that part of it. And then Memorial Tree Committee, I kind of put a little quick synopsis together after Jeanette and I met with Aaron this morning and Bobby at the park to kind of go over, possibilities of ways that we can get involved and just kind of get our hands dirty and have some, activities that our group can, plug into when we can. And, I don't think that any will be, very time consuming, but I think that'll kind of help us give pieces that we can integrate into the Facebook page. Also, we talked about today about the Tree Keeper software, and that as those trees, they plant 10 trees per season. So they'll do it in the fall, and then they'll do it in the spring. So just so I'm not the one talking, would you want to kind of talk about today?
Well,
Jeanette,
you're
or
doing a
kind of-
fine job.
Yeah, that's what
But
I'm saying.
it was nice just to sit down and talk to Aaron, because he was really delighted, I think,
Mhm.
to
Yeah.
have us there. And we kind of said, we all want to work together, on certain things and communicate well with each other so we know what the other one's doing and everything. And he came up with this terrific idea, which I thought was terrific anyway. I don't think you haven't talked to Scott yet.
He's on
Yeah,
vacation, so
yeah.
he'll be back Monday.
It has
so.
to be approved and everything, but he brought up this really great idea on street trees that some people, just, citizens or people that maybe they lived in that house when they were a little kid, and now it needs a street tree there, and have donations for street trees in certain places.
So have memorial trees to where
Yeah.
they have the option to plant in a
Plant them.
right of way.
Yeah,
Or then we even discussed
Instead
like
of
the cemetery.
everything in the park.
In the
right,
park,
yeah, because
Yeah,
they get a lot of trees there, almost sometimes I think more than they can handle.
yeah.
So he came up with this idea, which, and you know, of course, it has to be approved, and all the trees have to fall into the street
guide-
tree,
guidelines, yeah.
guidelines and everything, but still, I think it's a great idea.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think especially with the tornado, we lost so many trees
Uh-huh,
and we're gonna be planting the Franklin Street trees because it was a part of that grant, and that project. So, we need to get in there, make sure that we plant, we're probably gonna be about 20 trees, maybe
Mhm.
25 on Franklin Street. But then everyone else, the other streets, they lost a lot of
lost
trees
trees,
too.
yeah.
And this could be a great way of, family coming in, and if they want to have a memorial tree, they would pay for it just like they normally
Yeah.
do. But then now we may, and that's one thing I want to bring Rick Boland, our street supervisor, in on, because if it is on a right of way, that will probably fall on the responsibility of the street department to plant those
Right.
trees. So we just
Yeah.
want to make sure if he feels that there should be a max per season, that we allow for that too, to make sure that,
Sure.
it works with them. But I think Scott's gonna be all for it. I think it's kind of a win-win.
It is,
Yeah.
I really don't see how you go wrong, because then
Because how
that,
many memorial tree, I mean, how backed up are they? Did he say how many?
he didn't say, but he said that, and Bobby they both said that 10 is the limit on how many,
They
10 twice a year
is what they
is
can
really,
handle. Yeah,
because of labor and.
yeah,
you
and
know,
maintenance.
And maintenance
keeping
and
them watered,
watering,
yeah.
keeping them watered and everything. And so yes, it's basically a free tree, but then when you look at the labor involved, it's not really, it's not really free. And if we have like trees in the town right away that fall under kind of that umbrella, the person who donates it will pay for it.
Yeah,
And yeah, the town will have to probably plant it, and can't get the homeowners to water, but I would think you could. If they're gonna have a memorial tree there in front of their house, they're gonna water.
Yeah.
But I think like Denise said, that's a win-win situation.
Yeah.
That means we are adding more trees to our town
mhm.
at not that much of a cost.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And,
replenishing
and
those.
then also, I think that would make the people that have donated the trees happy too, to know that
Yeah.
the tree's getting planted.
Absolutely.
So you're.
So I never would have, I'll be honest, I never
Yeah.
would have thought of that in 100 years.
Yeah,
Would
when
you
he
have?
said that, both
Yeah.
Jeanette and I looked at each other like, that's
Yeah,
genius.
so
Yeah.
he's
Yeah,
been
it's a
thinking
great
about that.
idea.
Mhm.
And then we did have a conversation about the caliper, that some of the two, that they're just so big. And you have to, I don't know, they're pretty,
Water more. and
water
longer
more, there's
years.
a lot more maintenance to it, and
It's
Denise-
riskier too.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
mean,
That's
there's
the
more of a
point that,
chance that- I
yeah,
remember someone was here one time, one of our meetings, talking about how the bigger it is, the harder it
Right.
is to make it.
and
make sure
that's
it
what,
survives.
that's what we talked about this
Yeah.
morning, and so I think that's something to consider, and it'd be cheaper too, 2 1
Yeah,
or 1.5
yeah.
instead of 2, because
So-
like
And
the-
sometimes really, I think I feel like when you plant a really big one, they kind of are stunted for a while.
yeah,
And if you plant a smaller one, it's gonna start growing. It actually probably
See that.
will grow
right.
to the same size in the
Agreed.
same amount of
Yeah,
time.
so I
almost,
think
yeah.
that's definitely something that. we
So
need
all
to
those
do.
trees that they just planted, are
Those-
those memorial
tho-
trees?
There where the soccer field is.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were memorial.
Well, I
trees or
think
not.
there was a lot of catch-up that they were
They were
doing with
doing,
those.
yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
those
'cause they
were-
didn't
those
get-
were
Yeah, and those were big.
trees,
Yes, and
yeah.
those were probably a 2 to 2.5.
Yeah.
And
That
those were
root
very-
ball.
yeah.
Root
Yes.
ball on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I
But-
think, oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, they didn't get everything. They didn't get all the donation trees planted last year. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
I think they're in,
They're catching up.
they're catching up still
Yeah.
even this fall.
Yeah.
It sounds like, yeah. And I think with the right of way, if we were talking Franklin Street right of way is wider, it's 4 feet.
Mhm.
There for that planting section between the sidewalk and the curb. But a lot of places in town are, 2 to 3 feet.
Yeah.
So having those big, huge burlap trees just isn't going to work.
Yeah.
So if we start having that one, maybe 1.25, 1.5 inch
Mhm.
caliber, I think, it's less on height. They'll be able to get more in per truckload
Yeah.
and they won't have to maintain them as long
We'll just
to
have to,
supplement water.
yeah, we'll just have to be sure and let the people who donate realize that they can't just plant whatever they want. It's gotta be a
Mhm. Yeah.
approved street tree and,
Yeah.
but I'm sure that. If it is, it won't be a big problem.
Yeah.
I just think it's a great idea and it's a perfect example of the urban forestry committee working together
Yeah.
with the park.
The park. Yeah.
And, I just
Yeah.
think most things work out better if you got a partner
Yeah, yeah.
to shoulder everything.
And like you said today, it's a good program that they have in place and it's a great opportunity for us to tap into that. And be a part of, instead of reinventing something all on our own, we can assist them on it. And they did say that they'll reach out and let us know each season when they're going to plant trees. And then
Okay.
we can get that notification out to you all.
Yeah.
And if you want to recruit friends, we can reach out to friends of the library, friends of Falls Park, put it out on the town page that, hey,
Yeah.
they're planting trees, you want to come and help and be a
Yeah.
part of that. And then they also said that they'll do the same when they receive applications,
Mhm.
that send them over to me and I can send it out to you. And if a couple of us want to go out there and kind of survey the sites, they do offer top 3 choices of location and top 3 choices of the species.
Okay.
So as an educational thing, a learning, opportunity for us. And I told him myself, I'd love to learn more about species and what thrives best in certain locations. And
Yeah.
learned a lot when we planted the 60 trees, but there's just so much. There's
Yeah.
a lot of different types of trees out there. And we could survey it, kind of take a look at it and give them, doesn't mean they have to go with it, but we can give them what our best recommendation is.
Yeah. Yeah.
For that application. So they said that they'd be more than happy to do that. And then at that same time, we told them we can help out that tree keeper update. So
Mhm.
that we get those memorial trees all into that system as well.
Yeah.
He has access to it, but I know he's been real busy and we can work with him to get catch up or caught up. I'm going to meet with Erin Flint here end of this month. I'm waiting for her to get back with me. I sent her different dates that I was available to meet the end of the month and 1st of July. And so I'm going to see if they have a training opportunity for me to, whether it's video or something, because I know they had with the staff previously, they had a sit down training session, kind of show the features and what all you can do with that. So if there's something I can learn and get more familiar with the program, and we can start updating all these. So yeah, he seemed very excited about
He
it,
did.
and he hoped that we could give them. He was open to doing that, and then we kind of went into what we thought for the future. As we grow, and maybe some baby steps now of how we can get involved, but then later getting with DNR, Arbor Day Foundation, if they have any one-day workshops that they want to host here, they said that we're more than welcome to use the park facilities. Grounds, whether it was planting demonstration or educational workshop, that we can invite the community to come along. And then also, she's already talked about the whole right of way and cemetery expansion on the memorial tree program, but then also offered if we wanted to have any type of material that we wanted to have at the park office. They have a little entryway that they can have flyers or, the pamphlets that they have on the table, that if we want to kind of, print out some info that's fun for kids, or maybe if they have some programs that we can, share that they can pass along. But yeah, I think that, kind of on the right
It was a good,
start and.
yeah.
it was a good meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And then really, did you have anything else to add to that, Jeanette, or anything?
No, I
or-
don't think so.
Okay. And then the last here, the tree management plan, I put that in the Google Drive as well. If you want to take a look at that at your leisure, you're more than welcome to. Also, if you like, I can send it via email. But, okay, I will do that. I write that down before I forget. So Carrie, yeah, I'll send that out on email, the tree management plan, and then also the approved tree list. That's one of the two top priorities that I'd like to talk to Erin Flint about when we meet, to get her under contract to help us rebuild, kind of go through the program now, that what we have, the plan, and it's kind of a management plan and kind of establishes goals for the next, 5 years. So I'd like to get her thoughts on what they can offer us, as well as expanding our approved tree list. We have the flexibility that if someone wants to have a tree that's not on that approved tree list, so long as it's not invasive, it's appropriate for the site, and as well as it's an Indiana native tree, we can approve it. We're not limited to that list, but we'd like to see if we can get a little bit more selection out there, because the developers, now that we have the new UDO, that landscaping requirement is more enhanced. And so we'd like to have them have a good go-to of good references of what trees to pick from, and give them a little bit more selection as well.
Right.
So yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. We've got about $9,800 in the urban forestry fund. So that's just kind of leftover funds from previous grant money. And so we'll definitely have to use probably around 3,000, I'm projecting, for the tree plantings on Franklin Street. But maybe even less with going with a smaller caliber. So after we talked to Aaron today, we had asked, he was seeing that they were having better success rate with those smaller trees as well. And he
Yeah.
said, yes, definitely. So, so it may not be as much as that, but I'll have to see, what type of, fee we're looking at. I'm just not dealt with, urban forestry consulting, and we've done some with the stormwater and our water projects and so forth on those big projects, but I'm not for sure, and she probably will need to look back, because they did do the 2016 plan, so it may not be a very involved process, maybe just kind of updating it for us. But those are kind of the two focuses budget wise, and then, hopefully then, going down the line, next year, she may have some things that workshops or different things that she can kind of lead us, kind of get me to, and get some education and get more knowledgeable in this, field. So, and then I'd love to be able to share it with all of you. I know we've got the training coming up for Arbor Day, that healthy soil, that soil management class.
Yeah.
So if you're free, register, I'm sure they'll take even at the last minute if you find that you're available. It's an hour long, I think. And
Yeah.
thank you, Carol. It was 1:00 Central,
Yeah.
which then, I looked back and I looked at my calendar. I'm like, yeah, it just automatically converted to the
To two,
2
yeah.
for Eastern Central. So.
That's why you're president.
Yes, that's right. I was like,
Well,
oh,
and I
yes.
couldn't make it at 1, but I can at
It
2,
is.
so it worked out.
Yeah.
It did work out. I registered this afternoon.
Well,
so,
good.
yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Was it on the L?
But that, email,
Direct-
yes, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
I think I sent it, I think I sent it both to the personal iCloud one too. I'll double check.
Well,
But yeah, that's coming up Wednesday, June 29th. So here in about a couple weeks. So
I have 78,000 emails.
yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
You're
Wow.
worse than I am. Mine just says plus 999. That's all mine says. I know it's.
Oh, yes, I found it. Yes, thank you.
You got it? Okay.
Yes, thank
good.
you.
Yeah, just click on there. It's real easy. And I'll
Okay,
give you
yeah,
the link, and then they even said too, that if you register, but you can't attend or whatnot, it seemed like they'll send all the
The-
registered.
the
a
recording of
link,
it,
the
yeah,
recording,
yeah.
Yeah, so that's
That'd be
helpful.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Let
Yeah.
people look. Watch it on TV.
And if that's something where that recording is something that we can just download and it's not too big for me to send out email,
Mhm.
I can send it out as well to everyone. That get a chance to go. And the last thing that's kind of on my list is in the month of July, I've already walked Franklin Street, kind of get a little bit of an idea, but I need to find out where the utilities lie on those right of ways to kind of see how many trees we can fit in there and
Mhm.
make that look nice. So
Yeah.
what we want the grass to grow, it's just the seed was put down maybe 3 weeks ago, 2, 3
Mhm.
weeks ago. So we'll let that grow and then we'll get in there and we'll plant trees in the fall
Yeah.
for that.
If you
So,
want company on your walk, let me know.
Okay,
And if I
yeah,
can,
that'd
and
be-
if I can go.
yeah, that would
I
be
will.
great. Because there are some that are long stretches that I think that would be nice to, if we can at least get 2, it'd be
Yeah.
great if we can get 3
Mhm.
Yeah.
trees in there. It'd be nice for that to be, spread out. There's one part where the line goes over. The entire west side of Franklin Street doesn't have utilities there overhead, but I think on the east side, there
East
might be a
side.
little bit there. So I'll have to really map that out. And
Did
I
they
kind of kept walking around like this. The neighbors, I think he was kind of.
call the police on you suspicious? Did they put pretty good dirt in those right of ways?
Not initially.
Not initially?
Yeah, they had to kind of come back in and redo it.
Good, good.
Manning's inspector, he was awesome, and I think they made a mess out of the straw. They had a gun that was spreading the straw and a couple of young guys that were just wanting to get in and get out. And so he came back and he said, hey, you gotta come back, we need to fix this, and yeah. And then we had one neighbor that said, if that's how you're going to do it, I don't want you to touch my property. And so he thought, I'm gonna leave for work, I'll come back and they'll have it done, and I'll probably have a mess to clean up, but, he came back, it wasn't done at all. So then he said that you can put seed down, but you can't put straw, but they can't put seed down if they don't put straw. And so we got it, they're gonna do it, they're gonna add that to the punch list and go back and fix that for him and manually apply that straw for him.
I just know that sometimes they're on that right of way area, they put rocks and
Yes, yeah,
concrete chunks and everything they can find to fill up
Yes.
those spaces sometimes.
yeah, they did have to build that back up with better soil than what they. But it's starting to grow. I mean, it looks, it looks like it's starting to fill in. Fill in nicely and.
That
Look
stretch
like.
of Franklin Street, it still boggles my mind when I go down that street. The total lack of trees. I mean, it's like I almost get disoriented sometimes. I'm so used to all those trees and everything being up and down that street, and now it's like,
I was like that on the north side of Main Street.
oh,
'cause
me
I-
too.
Yeah, because I go by there
Yeah.
so often,
Yeah.
and it's like, I don't know how many times it was
I
just like
know,
this
when you
shock
look,
of,
when you look
yeah,
north
when you look north,
on
and, yeah,
down Main, oh, I know.
yeah.
Our landscape definitely changed.
I
yeah.
bet if they do
Yes.
a shot, from space,
Aerial.
yeah,
Mhm.
it would probably blow our mind.
Yeah,
To see that,
the difference,
Yeah.
yeah.
but that's what we're here for.
Mhm.
Yeah. The only thing that I had to add is Rachel Christensen had reached out to Hannah Rose and had brought up a program that I guess they'd done in the past, and it'd be perfect timing to kind of add in with the Memorial Tree Program. But it was a program that I guess that they offered residents to pay for a tree for the right of way, and then the town would plant it. So they would take care of ordering it, picking it up, bringing it there and planting, but the owner, the resident, would purchase the tree.
In the town
So-
right away.
It has to be in the town right away, but they could, that would be another way. It doesn't have to be a memorial tree,
Yeah.
but
Right.
yet if they wanted to have a tree. But that's one thing I wanted to talk to Scott and Rick about too, that, do we want to do it street by street? Is that something that we want to just open it up to everyone that have a limit, per year? I wanted to get their feedback on how they handled that. But
I guess
it's
I
a
do.
program they
Yeah,
had
I
done in
think
the
I do
past.
remember her talking about that.
Yeah. So,
No, but it seems like a good idea.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
And then they could select what kind of tree, if it,
Yeah, they can have a
Uh-huh.
choice
Have a
maybe.
choi-
And
yeah.
then,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Carrie,
then
do you remember
they kind
that?
of have some ownership of it to
Mhm.
take care of it.
Yeah.
No, I don't specifically remember that, but no, I don't.
Yeah. Because you've been on the board for quite a while, right?
Yeah, I have, but
Yeah, that's why I was thinking it. It's been, okay. But yeah, I
yeah,
don't,
it's just hard to remember because with the length of time between meetings. And so, yeah, I think in the future, I'm going to try to come in person because I feel like it's easier to connect everything
yeah.
if I'm actually there in person. So I'll make sure and try in the future to do that. So I can remember stuff. Maybe it'll help me remember. Maybe it won't. We'll see.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll have the Zoom for, quite a while. So we're going to keep that as an option for our board members. And then, but yeah, if you come in person, that'd be great. And,
Yeah.
love to have you. I'm glad that you're able to be here tonight. And I think what we talked about last month, I know we didn't have any official meeting minutes or whatnot, but go ahead and still meet. If we find that, we're down to 2 and everyone's on vacation and it falls to bad timing, there's nothing pressing, we can cancel. We could always do that. Yeah, I would just say, send an email to me, and then that way, if I find that we're down to 1 or 2, and we don't have anything, we can make that call. I could check with Carol and let her make that decision. And,
Right. Yeah.
but I think keeping us going each month will keep our momentum and conversations rolling and have
Yeah.
some, it helps me, better to kind of plan.
Yeah, well, I think at one time we talked about just trying to, maybe meeting quarterly, but to me, that's too much time in
Right.
between meetings, and then if something happens and we don't meet, then all of a sudden it's 6 months.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again,
Mhm.
so, yeah,
Yeah.
I think just try to keep on a schedule and just keep
Looking
in our
along,
forefront, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Well,
all I
any
have.
other comments or business?
I have this little book that I got. It's from the Arbor Day Foundation. And I got it, if I remember correctly, at some, maybe, a meeting down in Indianapolis, and they gave you all these handouts and blah. But I'm thinking we could probably contact the Arbor Day Foundation, see if we can get it. It's a tree board handbook, and it's really got a lot of stuff in there that tells you where you can get ideas and where you can get help if you have questions. And it's a nice little book. It's got some, it just talks about a little bit of everything that we are involved with. So if you think,
Yeah, I'll,
sure.
and no, that's okay. I will reach out to the rep there.
Mhm.
See Abby Kraus, but she might be the one with DNR with Carrie. But I will reach out to them.
I don't even know
And-
what the date is on it, but
So it's a tree board handbook?
yeah,
Tree board handle.
Okay.
from the
Yeah.
Arbor Day Foundation.
Yeah, okay.
And it's full. I forgot I had it.
Yeah.
It was in the stack of that stuff that I got at that, whatever it was we went to. And I found it. I thought, this has got some good info in it. So if we could get more of those,
Yeah.
I think that would be good.
Yeah.
Bring it back to your point.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, I will follow up with them and see if we can get some delivered and, yeah. Or even if we need to order it, that'd be
Yeah.
great. That'd be something we can definitely purchase, so.
Okay, well, if there's nothing else, I'm going to adjourn the meeting. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, Carrie.
Bye. See you later.
Bye.